Hello everyone, and welcome back to another beginnercpp.com's tutorial on how to program in C++. The reason I've started this one off on the desktop is because I'm a little ashamed of what I'm about to do. This is lesson 46, by the way. Now, the reason why I'm ashamed of it is not because I feel like the code I made is of low quality. The reason I'm ashamed of it is because I feel like I could have done this in real time if I didn't have that 15-minute restriction that YouTube sets on me. So with that being said, this is going to be a code review of the code that I've made. It's not what I wanted to do, but it happens. So, okay. We're going to start right from the top. We've only included IO stream. We could have brought in IO manip and other different things to help us out. We didn't really need to. We created a class called player character, and it has a bunch of public members. The first is being a default constructor, meaning if nothing is passed to that class, then it's going to construct things in a certain way. Then there is another constructor with the same exact name. This is what's known as constructor overloading, and it decides which one of these to use based on how we call the constructor. The constructor is basically something that's going to create an object with the parameters we want it to have. The public members of the... Oh, and by the way, this is the destructor. This is what's in charge of blowing up our objects when we're done with it. Now, this right here is all the public members of the class, meaning that we can call these publicly, etc. This is the default constructor. There's nothing much in here. We set the name equal to blah, and then all the attributes equal to 0. Down here, oh, and we can get rid of that, those ints, because we've already declared them. Okay, so then we have this huge, big, long, ugly thing that takes in a string and then 8 ints. So the string is going to be the name, and the 8 ints are going to be strength, dex, intellect, luck, HP, MP, level, and experience. Now, if you guys want to expand on this in your own time and you want to make it into more of an actual RPG, you'll also want to add in current HP and current MP, because you don't want to screw around with your maximum HP and MP. The destructor is right here, and we're not giving that any parameters. I don't really think it needs any parameters in this case. We have show class menu, which we created last time around. That's right here. And that's just telling the user, you know, press 1 to select this class, you know, 2 to select that. So, you know, and after we do that, I think that's where we left off. So what we have so far is we had basically this. We had this this sort of enter your name and then show the class menu. Well, from there what I've done is I've created an array, and I've also made a new function that returns a void, or well, doesn't return anything because it's a void. It's named character attrib, and we pass it in an array. And remember, when we pass an array, it's always by reference. So we made this array called main array. The reason I named it main array is just to tell me where it's coming from. And then we started with char attrib main array. So we called character attributes with the argument main array. And now I need to pause to take a call. I knew this was going to happen. Okay, so continuing on where I left off. We're going to skip down here, and we're going to look at what happens. Since this left off asking our user to do something, you know, press 1 to make a warrior, 2 to make a ranger, 3 to make a mage, it's only natural that we start off this by creating a variable and then doing a cin. So then we jump into a case based on the cin, and then we set the attributes, strength, dex, int, luck, HP, and MP, in the array. So we do that based off of the case they selected. I've left case 2 and 3 blank and I haven't included a default. You guys can do that if you want. It's not a big deal. But when we do this break, since it's type void and there's nothing after it, that just means that all we've done is set these variables. Set these variables inside the array. And since it's passed by reference, that means that these variables are now available for use anywhere in our program. And I can delete that line. So, okay. What we have now is the initialization. And we pass in string, which was the name, and the array 0 through 5, followed by a 0, which is your starting experience, and a 1, which is your starting level. You can see up here that the last two are indeed experience and level set. So I've come up here and I just wanted to show you guys how that all correlates in. Then we come down here and I've output all the stuff that your character is going to be. And I've created a quick little thing here where it says, you know, experience plus equals 1,000, and then if your experience is greater than 1,000 per level, you're going to level up. I haven't done anything with level up, I've just increased the level in this case, and then I spit out the experience, the level, and whatever else. So when we give this a run, you'll see that it's stored all of our strength, dex, ints, max health, max mana, experience, etc. And it holds those values for us, and then we can manipulate them while they're inside of an object. Now, the reason I'm being so abrupt here is for two reasons. I have a friend waiting for me outside, and for two, I realized that I did not introduce boost, and I have not introduced how to do private get and sets. So I couldn't be as in-depth with this as I wanted to. We're going to save what we have here as a template, and we're going to come back to this in about 15 to 20 lessons, and we're going to make this an actual game. It's not going to have very much in the way of graphics, but it will have character and mob interactions, weapons, damage, of that nature. So if you guys want to try that before then, feel free, but we are going to be covering it in a later lesson. Thanks for watching, and I apologize that if all of this seems like a cop-out, it kinda is, but I went through and rewatched a lot of videos and realized, you know, I kind of rushed this. So here's to the upcoming videos, and I apologize for the background noise earlier. That was my washer and dryer. Alright, have a nice night, you guys.